her booty goals, why don't you take her man problems too? Hello guys, welcome to my first ever YouTube channel. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm actually really excited for this. First of all, be nice, okay? I'm new here, so subscribe please, like, share, comment, okay? I'm new, be nice. But yeah, I'm so excited. It's been a long time coming, and everything works in perfect timing. This is the time. I feel ready. I have so much content for you guys. I have so many different ideas, and well, that was rude. Yeah. Anyway, now you go home, you back. Go home, you back. I want anyone that comes on this page to leave smiling, to either be entertained, to have learned a little something, or to honestly just feel good. So that is my intention with this. Welcome to Aggie's World. Aggie's World. What? Aggie's World. Right, so on this video, I am going to tell you 5 different ways to build self-love. Yep. It is a topic that is clearly just changing this generation. It has come with a surge, and I think there's positives to that because it's everywhere, and I think it is making people think and question the relationship they have with themselves. But I do think in another way it can be sort of like people are now looking like they love themselves, and more with a hype of self-love as opposed to actually doing some of the work that it requires. So, but I think, you know, as long if you're dabbling into it, it's still something. So I do think it's still positive. I just think it's good, and it's important to actually speak about what it actually means to different people because it might help. So I'm just gonna kind of go right off the bat and just say 4 things that I have had in my personal life that have helped me cultivate self-love and me really just love the woman that I have become. What is self-love? Self-love. Self-love is love of self. There you go. It's pretty simple, but I think it's definitely one of the most complex relationships that we have and we're going to have throughout our lifetime. Let's begin. Number 1, do not compare yourself. Easier said than done. I know. We live in a generation of social media. We got TikTok, we got Instagram, we got YouTube. Everything pretty much just screaming in your face, to whether you're comparing yourself with what you look like, whether you're comparing what someone else has acquired that you yet have acquired, whatever the case may be. I think comparison is everywhere, and it can be a bottomless pit. Let me just say it as bluntly as possible. Now, with comparison, the reason why that is a detriment to your self-love is that the more you're continuously looking outside and thinking of things that are better than what you have or better than what you are, that naturally depletes your self-love, because you're telling yourself, your internal guidance system, I'm not good enough because they are better than me. And that just really, that's just a bottomless pit. I do get it's easier said than done, but the minute you start being conscious about it, the minute you start catching yourself early, is the minute you're going to understand, actually, this is not in any way helping me now. There is nothing wrong with getting motivated or being inspired by other people. I don't want you to get me wrong. It is good. I think there is a positive to this technological life, but I'm talking to the point where it's now become a habit, and it's now become you believe you're not as good as anybody else, or you believe everybody's better than you because they have this or that. So comparison, number 1 rule of thumb, do not compare. And I always say this: if you're going to compare one aspect of someone, compare everything and see whether you actually want that life. For example, if you see someone and you know it's something that they've just acquired, or something physical that you like that you don't have, it's like, okay, if you're going to take her gains, right, or her booty goals, why don't you take her man problems too? You know, if you're going to take his career or his, you know, success of his career right now, why don't you take the lonely life, family life he's had to, you know, compromise to get to the space he's at? Why are we just nitpicking, assuming that the result they have comes just as that? It doesn't come with any blood, sweat, or tears. So when you look at it like that, you don't actually want their life. You don't. And when you see it that way, you're like, actually, I'd rather deal with my stuff. Because if you want one thing, take their whole life. There you go, rule of thumb. If you see yourself comparing to an eyelash, right? You'll get their entire face too. When you slow down on that, you can then start being like, but you know what? I got this. And there are some things that people compare themselves to about you, but you wouldn't think that. Number one, do not compare yourself, or as much as you can, try not to, because that is feeding yourself that you aren't good enough. And in the basis of self-love, feeling good enough is foundation. Number two, this links in with number one, but work with what you have. This is in all areas all areas of your life. Work with what you have. Start here with what you have right now. Boom. Even if it's health, even if it's finance, even if it's career, if it's friendship, relationship, whatever it is, start with what you have and believe that what you have is enough right now. For example, financial. You might be someone who wants to have more financial literacy, you want to manage their money better, but you might get caught up in the idea of, okay, when I get a big chunk of money, that's when I'm going to do this or do that. How about I have this right now? What can I do with this? How can I manage this right now? Because once you manage that, you're telling yourself, what I have right now is enough. Right here, right now is okay. Even if it's health, if you have some fitness goals, work with what you have right now. You don't need the most expensive gym membership. YouTube videos have been killing it in terms of workouts. So just try and think about it like that. This links in very, very closely to gratitude, but I'm going to put it still in the same point. Because when you're grateful for what you have right now, it will multiply. When you're grateful, even if you haven't cultivated that relationship with yourself, or felt like you love yourself, that's okay. That's okay, by the way, guys. I'm not saying this is a finished journey. I'm not a finished product. I still have my days. But when you're just on the journey where more of the time you feel good about yourself, then that's the goal, really. The more you're grateful for the little relationship you do have with yourself, the more you're grateful for the clothes or the basic necessities, the house that you live in, the food that you eat. That just starts something in acceptance and accepting who you are and just accepting where you are at. That is core. So number two is accepting where you are, work with what you have, gratitude, all of that into one. Oh, I can't do that. All into one. Number three, affirmations are your best friends. Diamonds are a girl's best friend. No, affirmations are no, doesn't work. I'm off key as well. So affirmation, people will be talking about affirmations left, right, and center, and I think it's with a reason. Affirmations have changed my life for sure, but they require just a bit of work. So affirmations is just something you repeatedly say. Normally they start with I am, so I am this, I am that, I am powerful, I am beautiful, I am strong, I am, and then you add whatever word you want yourself to believe about yourself. Now we have a conscious mind and a subconscious mind. Now our conscious mind has already believed the beliefs we've told itself about us. So if you've always thought I'm not healthy, I'm not a gym person, I just don't go to bed early, you believe that about yourself, your behavior is going to completely match that, because we are what we repeatedly do. So affirmations are the gateway for you to change the beliefs you have about yourself. Now in the beginning, it sounds like a lie. It sounds like a big ugly lie, because your subconscious mind is like, no, that ain't true. You actually, no, we've been saying this about you, about ourselves, so why do you think you can now suddenly say this or say that? If you want to say I'm rich, your brain's gonna be like, no, you're not. So in the beginning it really feels like a lie, but the more you do it, the more you repeatedly say certain things, the easier it's gonna be to believe. And one day your brain's just gonna be like, oh, I am beautiful, actually. I don't really want to protest against that. And that is beautiful. So I plaster them on my wall. I say them to myself when I'm walking somewhere. And you can begin with something light that doesn't feel like such a big lie. If instead of saying I am rich, you can say I am financially literate. I am able to manage the money that I have right now. That's still an affirmation. So you can cater it to what's going to be the biggest push for you right now. And then as time goes on, add the emotion to it. Right now, when I'm looking in the mirror and I'm like, I am worthy of love. I have said that affirmation so much, I emotionally feel it whenever I say it. And when you link emotion with words, boom, reality. I believe that to be true. And guess what? The universe brings places, people, and things to confirm that belief that I am worthy of love. I am worthy of all the love. So yeah, affirmations are the best. And number 4, I would say self-trust. Trust of self. I think this has been a journey for me personally, but I think this is one of the biggest ones. Now, there's a lot of different ways that we can cultivate self-trust, but over time, it's something that's done in a subtle way, but over time can have huge results, which has been the case for me. So, for example, when we make decisions every single day about what we eat, what we wear, what we're going to do with the plan of the day, but we're not conscious. I think the best way to cultivate self-trust is being conscious of the decisions that you're making on an everyday basis and starting small. So for example, what do I want to wear today? What do I want to eat today? I want to eat that because I want to eat that today. When I make it conscious, after I make the decision, I have an internal dialogue to trust the decision I've just made, whether it's small. It might actually seem insignificant in that moment. I'll plan my day and I'll be like, actually, I don't want to do that today. I will do this today. Or what do I want to do? Asking yourself a question and then answering it makes it conscious that you made the decision. Now, over time, it will then be, another smaller decision, a medium-sized decision. And eventually, it will be a big decision. But because you're conscious of the fact that you trust your decisions, of course, you're gonna think about it if you need to, but you're gonna make it and know, do you know what? I trust myself right now. Here's the thing about self-trust. It's not necessarily about the outcome, because we beat ourselves up and judge ourselves that we made the wrong decision. I, as a side note, don't believe in wrong decisions, right or wrong decisions. I feel like every decision is either to teach you a lesson or is either still navigating you to where you're supposed to be. However, just for argument's sake, I'll say if you think you made a wrong decision, there can be so much judgment that comes with that. But if you have cultivated or developed this sense of self-trust, you will know that that version of you that made that decision then felt that that was the right decision to make at the time. So there is no judgment. It's just like a redirection, or it's just that, okay, not that, next time this. And guess what? It feels like you got your own back. It feels like Aggie's got my back. I'm not going to speak about myself behind my back. By behind my back, I mean speaking to somebody else about the decision you made. That's actually speaking about yourself behind your back. Ooh, that's new. I've never said that. So you're speaking about yourself behind your back to somebody else when you judge yourself. So I've got my back, because I'm like, no, I thought that was the right decision. Or when you get a decision that goes where you want, you're even more like, yeah, instead of, oh, that was lucky, you're just like, yeah, I got me. Self-trust is full. That one is big on self-love, because guess what? We love the people we trust. So if you trust yourself, you end up loving yourself. Last but by no means least. Last but by no means what? Last but by no means least. Last but by no means least. Whoa. Last but by no means least. Lastly, that's really weird, embarrassing. Number 5, guys, make time for yourself. I don't mean when there's nothing else to do, might as well pick up a book, might as well, do a little pamper sesh. No, actually make time for yourself, because we humans make time for everybody else but us. And what we think is time for us actually isn't. And if we are making time for ourselves, we're not being conscious about it. So then that internal dialogue between you and you don't actually acknowledge it's me time. You could literally go on a spa day, but if the whole time you're just thinking about other things and stressing, you and you aren't having fun. You and you ain't even there together. Have some time alone and see how you are when you're by yourself. Do you actually like your own company? Do you know who you are? Do you know what you want? These are just questions to just start asking yourself, or just really understanding the answers to. And when you're good alone, you kind of start feeling picky about who you give that energy to, because you take time to fill your own cup. I like to set aside, every day I have some kind of me time, because I have a wellness routine. That is a whole other video. But a wellness routine can look like, whether it's meditation, whether it's journaling, whether it's working out, whether it's reading, whether it's all of them put together. That's just time for you, not self and others, self and self. And then observe how you feel, and make sure that time is set aside, because guess who sees that? You. If you want to spend time with yourself, but everything that comes in gets chosen over that, you're gonna start being like, well, I don't really like being around me, and that's gonna deplete your self-love anyway. So yeah, make time for you. But yeah, guys, that's it. That is it. I could be here for hours. I could be here for so long talking about this, but please tell me in the comments what it is that you do, or what you've done that has helped you build a sense of self-love, or just a sense of worthiness, and just liking who you are. And guess what, guys? You are with you forever. Wherever you go, there you are. You can't escape you. So you might as well start just bridging something that is positive for you and with you, to you. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, share, and I will see you soon.